everybody, and welcome to Briar Rose Cottage here on YouTube. I am Lady Rosemary, Moonstone Crown. And yes, I have not washed my hair, but as you can see right here, but it's Sunday, and so who cares? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessings to you all, and hopefully the sun's smiling upon you today. It's really warm where I am. After last time's video, I'm shifting my focus. Oh, that was so emotional. What happened on Friday? But here and now, focusing on reality. I promise there'll be fun videos, very fun videos. My focus is just all over the place. So my goal is to take, as fellow Canadian Dan Aykroyd said so eloquently in Evolution. Really good movie. Silly, but good movie nonetheless. Said in Evolution, let's just empty these bags of snakes, or whatever it was that he said. Empty these bags of snakes, dump them out, and stretch them all out on the table. And that is what needs to happen if we are going to survive the economy and the stupidity that is going on in our modern society. So, I am 54 years old and a smidge. My birthday was a couple months ago. And I don't ignore, I know what the reality of my future is in 10 years, 15, 20. I have fibro and osteoarthritis and all this other kind of yay health stuff. I have asthma, allergies, I get migraines. So what is my future going to look like in 15 years? Which one means I'm 69 and I'm staring at, can I live in my house anymore? Or do I need to go into a senior center? They lovingly call them senior centers now. Will I need assisted living? What do I need? And the thought of 69, 75, 80 terrifies me, I must admit. Living alone with everything I go through now, in the future, when I'm older, and things have slowed down even more than they have slowed down now. It's terribly frightening. So if you're a younger viewer, please be kind to your parents. They've got a lot on their minds. The best way to deal with this all is to look at things realistically. One is to get this mattress box spring out of my living room. Give me my space so I can see clearly for the here and now. But to deal with the future, when you're dealing with the future, is take that step back and ask yourself a very realistic question. What am I going to be like? Based on the information I have right here, right now, not some hopeful cure in the future, whatever. But if I took me and added some more health issues in on top, like diabetes, heart issues, that kind of thing. I must admit, I'm a pretty sedentary person, so even though I have low blood sugar, I'm definitely with Renault syndrome staring down heart problems. My dad and his parents, as far as I was informed, all have had heart issues. Dad was having heart attacks. Apparently, so were his parents. And smoking obviously didn't help. I don't smoke, so I got a leg up on that. But I have sensitivity to chemicals. So that's almost as bad. I breathe in perfume and scented products, etc., and my life just isn't great. I can't breathe, etc. So, what is the reality of my future? And this might surprise some people because I get treated like I'm very naive, but I do a lot. I'm a thinker and a planner. Um, so I think a lot about things. I talk a lot about, you know, renos and this and that and everything. But in the back of my mind, or even in the forefront of my mind, I'm thinking about cost, how it's going to get done. Do I even have the stuff? Can I get the stuff free? How am I supposed to do this with the way I feel with no help? Bye bye, wasp. Leave, or I will kill you. I will not hesitate, especially since I got stung the other night. Here, I'm going to open my water, even though I need it. See if it'll drown itself in my cup. Ooh, it left. I guess it didn't like the idea of being drowned. Anyways, so these are hard questions. Nobody wants to face forward and look at that kind of reality for themselves. We're a society that is plagued by type 2 diabetes no one needs to have type 2 diabetes. We give that illness to ourselves. Predominantly, we give ourselves heart disease, kidney failure, all that kind of stuff from poor lifestyle choices. Some of it has to go with the post I made on Facebook in Briar Rose Cottage. With we're being lied to and led to believe that we have to live a certain life, and the people who have opted out of that are way happier and living better, healthier, because stress kills. So what I want to do, what I'm looking at is, first off, can I live in this house at all in 5 years? And the answer to that question is probably no. Not the way it is. I have to, as I'm doing my renos, change how I function in this house. The first thing is I am turning that basement into storage space, an empty space, Christmas decorations, etc. So I do not have to go down those crazy ass stairs. They're about this wide. They're about this wide, and this, it feels like some days it's like this. Plus, there's a beam at the bottom of the stairs that if you do not go down backwards, you bonk your noggin on it. I've hit my head on that several times. Problems of an older house. So the renos that I do in the house are not just going to be for pleasure, they're going to, and aesthetic, they're going to be functioning renos so that life is easier for me. This is part of the reason why I'm ripping up the grass. No grass, no mowing. I do not have to pay somebody with the no money I have right now to come and mow. I don't have to beg people to come, and some days it feels like begging. Puttering in garden beds, activity, so exercise, grow my own vegetables, way healthier, and that kind of thing. So definitely some old school lifestyle changes that absolutely make me thrilled. And I think that's the important thing. Chasing that dollar, as I said in the post, the root to all evil is not money. It's believing the lies of media, and I am one of those ones. I am anti-consumerism. I'm very anti-consumerism. Why should we line the pocket of big corporate Walmart? Yes, you Walmart. Sam Walton, in so many ways, would be rolling in his grave because it was about family and community and everything. Now it's about money and the way they treat employees, etc. It is so not. I usually don't name them specific. I call them W Mart because there are algorithms and things in the social media that come up and pick, and you can be targeted. But someone has to come out and say they're a shitty corporation to work for. Most places are. I'm not above the boss getting a healthy paycheck. He's the boss. He put they do the company and everything, and there's a lot of crap we down here don't see. They have to deal with up there. However, they do it on the backs of the average Joe and Josephine. So, stop consuming. I'm stop consuming. Downsize in the queen size bed for a double because it fits in the bedroom better. This is not a luxury item when it is hard for me to make the bed. And literally with fibro, it's almost impossible to make that bed. It is much easier actually for me to downsize fully as a single person to a twin size. So in the lifestyle ideas of what I want as I age and go forward, and this is really good for the 20-somethings and the 30-somethings, and definitely for the 40-somethings, is take your life and your bag of snakes, dump it out on the table, and stretch them all out and see, what do I really need? What do I really want? Do my wants outweigh my needs? People, financial advisors who help people with bankruptcy and credit card debt and stuff, that's what they do. They sit down and help people figure this all out, and some have been on things like Oprah 30 years ago trying to tell people, stop. Your paycheck doesn't say you actually can afford this lifestyle. What are you mortgaging? This is my thought. What are you mortgaging when you pay service charges on your credit cards? If it would take you a year to save up for a brand new washing machine or buy one on Marketplace, another for now washing machine for say 100 Canadian, 150 Canadian, that didn't have all the bells and whistles, maybe get lucky it's got bells and whistles, but washed your clothes just as fine as the fancy $900 brand new front load washing machine. How much credit paid in service charges would you have back in a year if you didn't have to mortgage your future? Because that's what credit does. Credit mortgages your future. I'm not saying credit is bad. We're just bribed into thinking it's good. We can have it all right now. Right now. When maybe the washing machine we still have is still good. It's wonderful. Still works. Don't fall into the scam. It's a scam. Don't fall into the scam of living a future that you truly cannot afford. And hence, back to me and aging. I'm sagging. I'm one of those sagging people. Anyways, what is my future actually going to cost? Right here, right now, to go into one of the lower ends, we only actually really have two. We might have three, but to go into the lower end senior living, and some of them are combos, so they have assisted in it, so you don't have to go into like the auxiliary at the hospital, which is basically seniors waiting to die. I know this lovely nurses and everything, but my late husband's grandmother was in there, and it's a hospital bed in a room. with arts and crafts, and they feed you and make sure your meds, and especially for people who are suffering from memory loss, dementia, that kind of thing. And some memory loss is not the same as dementia, or Alzheimer's. Anyways, my future with everything that's going on, the migraines that shut down my body and give me twitches and stuff, this is terrifying. I don't like living alone. My brother is only a few years older than me. My sister's only a few years younger than me. I have a niece who cares very deeply about all three of us. My sister has health issues. My sister and brother have health issues of their own. I'm watching my dad's first family deal with being seniors, because they're older, being with seniors, and I'm going, oy vey. So the one lodge in town for seniors, right here, right now, and it's not the best one, $1,350 a month for basically room and board. That pays for all the utilities you would need, the staff, food, etc. I get $489.50 for survivor benefits, for Canadian survivor benefits for losing Kirk. I did not work enough to get Canadian pension plan, get anything realistic on Canadian pension plan. When I turned 65, welfare and AISH go away and become other senior type related things. But I'm staring down $1,000 a month. So I can't afford assisted living. I have health issues. No insurance, no health insurance, because I'm one of them people, I'm starving to death. Food, health insurance. So if I get lucky and get on welfare, I'll have health benefits. Health and dental benefit. That's something to party over. Anyways, when I'm 65, it's scary. There are some things that our Canadian government, no Mark Carney, are changing to make lives better for seniors. And I believe you me, the Gen X is chasing. There are a lot of us, and there are a lot of us without money. So we're going to need social programs. I need the help. I relied on spouses and partners to support me financially, because working for me makes me sick. So what do we do for people like me besides leave them to be frightening? We plan. We take our Gen X knowledge, we share it with the world, and we plan. So the discussion right now is with my brother and my niece, and see if we can come up with a plan where all our tiny bits of income pulled together gets us a place where we can all cohabitate, but not in the same place. I'm in love with tiny homes, and we need all our own little yeasty buds, or we will kill each other. I know that's coming. Me, my brother, and my younger sister have always learned to be independent and kind of learn to entertain ourselves. We learn to entertain ourselves. So we need spaces. Yes, spaces. Wide open spaces. Thank you, Dixie Chicks. Anyways, so my thinking is buying property is horribly expensive. I'm the only one who owns a home. I can't sell this place. I will be lucky when it comes to sell this place if I actually get the roughly $150,000 it is valued at now. Wainwright, it's very rural here. Very, very rural here. There's not a lot here that says, hey, come live here and buy a home. A lot of people, there's a lot of work going around and stuff to try and make this a better community, better place to live, that kind of thing, to draw younger people in. Okay, to replace the seniors that are having to move out and elsewhere because we can't no longer work, health issues, whatever. This is how it goes. Towns need a certain segment of the youthful population, families, and the middle-aged to help fund property taxes and community development. And if you don't have, if your town doesn't plan right, it goes in the crapper. I've seen it time and time again. But anyways, so back to me, and because I got 12 minutes left in this video. Back to me. My bag of steaks says that in 5 to 10 years, I really need to be looking at finding a place where I don't live by myself, so that I don't have to worry about what happens if I fall down. But at the same time, still have a lot of the freedom that I have now. Back to tiny homes. Tiny homes are excellent because you can get an entire family on a decent sized plot. Like even my own plot, you could probably get four tiny homes on here. I could get 2 and still keep this house. I have room in here. My problem is access. I don't own 3/4 of the driveway, so access has to be off the alley. But yes, if I gave up garden space, I definitely could get two extra 12-foot travel trailer sized places here. So a lot of those tiny homes that are 2-story and smaller, I could get 2 here. Well, why wouldn't I want to do that with my family, with the people I love? Take worry out of my daughter's oldest. You know, she loves us all very much. But take some worry out of that and look after each other. Someplace, she's a younger person. She's not a young person. She's not a, by any stretch of the imagination. But she's that age group where definitely everybody's looking to buy a house. She can't afford it. Housing prices where she lives are insane. So why would I, who loves her, not use my income, my buying power, such as it is, to help her? Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I help my brother? Her mother. Why wouldn't I do that? I was raised to do that. My own mother was very family oriented. There was a lot of her little bit of family being ignored by the wealthier ends of her own family. I have many horror stories. I don't want to make the same mistakes. I want to take things seriously. Because once you get it all laid out and everything, then you can play. Life becomes fun. And then I have brain time to work on things like this hat here in my book that I spent money on, probably at W-Mart. Anyways, we as a society need a rethink. This push towards to have it all, to be the best, to be all we can be. Unless you're in the army, forget it. The Joes living on, and the Josephines living on the bottom end, we're not getting there. I'm 54. I was told that line of horse pucky since I was a kid. I could be anything I wanted. I could have anything I wanted if I just worked for it, and it's true. But what if you can't work for it? There's nothing wrong with living in I can't. I can't do this. It allows you to move on to what you can do. It allows you to focus on the can do and breathe instead of chasing dreams. We have people with degrees from university and in debt up way past their eyeballs, their children's, way past their future children's. They don't even have yet eyeballs because the prestige that comes with being a doctor, a lawyer, a high-priced accountant, they're seductive. But there's too many of them. If you look over the years, from the time, I would say the 60s, going into the 70s, those jobs have evaporated. The more the internet makes it easier for us to do our own income taxes, who needs a CPA? The more we take charge of our health, we do not need specialists. Think about it. Do you need a heart specialist if your GP, your general practitioner, your family doctor says your heart's fine? Who pays that specialist when nobody needs that specialist anymore? Dandelions are wonderful, and I had that in a quesadilla last night as my spinach. It's free grown in my yard. One of the many weeds in my yard that is healthy for me. Some of them you got to be careful because with our medication society, there can be cross things that happen that can make you violently ill or even kill you. So when you're doing holistic, do your research, know your meds, know your body, and be careful because even holistic can be as toxic and life-threatening as big pharma with all their pills. Anyways, so my idea is let's pool all our brain power because we are smart people, as most people are smart people, and see what we can start doing for the next 2 years, next 10 years, before I run out and face a life I don't want. I don't want to go in a home at 65, 64, 65. I don't want to be treated like a child. Sometimes they have to talk to the seniors like they're children, but not always. It's a case of reaching out to survive the failings of our society. I won't even blame the government. A lot of us sat back and let them do just whatever. People don't vote. You know, basically not voting says to the government they can do whatever the frig they want. Sometimes even if you do vote, they do whatever they want. Bad politicians. Bad, bad, bad. Anyways, politics is let's take care of ourselves down here. And that plays really into being kind in general. Be kind to others. Don't charge your friends babysitting money to look after their kids because they gotta go grocery shopping. Plan a play day, and two of the parents or whatever get to look after everybody's kids while the other ones get to go shopping. and rotate. Cook meals and give your leftovers to, if you don't need them, to the shut-ins you know. That's appreciated. It's possibly crap you're going to throw in the garbage. Well, it's not crap. It's possibly wholesome food that's going to sit in your refrigerator and die, and you can throw it out anyways. Let's learn in our kindness to quit consuming. Let's support places like ThredUp, which is very good used, good quality clothing, and that I have looked at. Rachel Maxey on YouTube. There's if you want a fun videos to watch Rachel Maxey here on YouTube. She buys from ThredUp all the time, so she can get $100 piece of clothing for $50, $30, depends on what. There's Lululemon on there. So rethink what you need. Do you have something someone else's needs? I could use a couple of teenage grandsons to come help me, who will do it because cookies are awesome, or because if I had grandchildren, grandma needs the help. We used to be that way. Back in the 70s and before that, we used to be that way. Grandma needs help. We're going to grandma's this weekend, and we're going to help them clean the garage out. We're going to help them mow the lawn. We're going to wash their car. And we all did it because it was family. If the neighbor next door needed their car washed too, we did it because they were the neighbors. Got extra in your garden growing? People here? Yay, people. Take it to the food bank often, or share amongst everybody. There's a little bit of for sale, but there's a lot of just trading, giving. There's a lot of, I must say, there is a lot of generosity in this town, and I am proud of that. So build the generosity for yourself so that in the future you have it. So preaching aside, I'm running out of time. I really appreciate all of you. I know, welcome newcomers. I'm really jazzed up. There was a fire lit under my ass from what happened on Friday with the town listening to this one woman here in the corner. They listened to my voice. That was very empowering. So go check out that video. I was crying happy tears. Yay. But anyways, so be kind. Be kind to each other, especially to yourself. Treat yourself how you really want to be treated, and people around you will probably more inclined to treat you that way. Peace, love, and happiness, everybody. Be proud of your small victories, even if that was just getting out of bed today for my health challenged followers. You are cared about. Until next time, bye.